2 weeks before Ramadan for Ramadan, if you agree with me. But other than that, we will move, same, meaning this ayah perhaps would be our last ayah. We would complete it, and then we would focus on Ramadan to actually revise some of the things that we already know. But because we've almost, it's almost 11 months now since after fasting, there may be things that we may need to actually revise. So, inshallah, we would finish this ayah next week, and then we would start. Last class, we would have Saturday, the last Saturday before Ramadan, because I believe our nightly prayer would start either Thursday or Friday, I believe, one of those days. Friday. Okay, good. Friday. And then Saturday, Ramadan begins, inshallah. So, which means we would finish the Sunday before that. During Ramadan, we don't have classes.
The day is too long.
Sister Huda, you are our mother. Sister Huda, because your son would be really busy during Ramadan, so maybe we probably might need to, that's what we've been doing. It has been our tradition that during Ramadan we would pause. And I know you will feel bad because you're going to be alone home. But, we'll talk about it. I don't think it's going to be a problem if we would, Okay, let's move on with the chapter on Janazah, our Hadith 465. And those who have Brother Ashraf's is 597. وعن أبي إسحاق أن عبد الله بن زيد بن يزيد رضي الله تعالى عنه أدخل الميت من قبل رجلي القبر وقال هذا من السنة أخرجه أبو داود. Now, as we move the body to the grave, how? Are we moving the head down, or we start with the legs? Well, the hadith here is telling us that, and we've mentioned, do as much as you can. However, part of the sunnah is go with the legs, and then keep moving, and then put down the head. This is where, perhaps in Washington, I did mention, and when I mentioned this last time, Dr. Yaka did mention to me, Imam, you said something, about, when they put the body, it is the family, close relatives. And I said to my Dr. Yaka, I said, well, I did mention this because I keep forgetting whether we bury with the casket or we bury, only the body. In Washington, they do that. They allow us to bury without the casket. But in here, it's not like that. We would bury with the casket, and there's no problem with that. So
you should put the head in the qibla. So how do you know? They have to decide with the qibla is before they go with his leg first.
Well, we know it because the grave is, they will dig the grave before we get there.
Yeah.
So we know the qibla, and the qibla is not precisely, but at least, close to qibla. And then as we put it down, it is better to go with where the legs are down first, and then the head. As we would read, you see, mistakes happen. Now, when mistakes happen, you want to make sure that because this person is dead, you don't want to treat his body with disrespect. So if suppose something happened and then, the body fell and then falling on his head, as people who live, we don't want to. Suppose something happened, look at what people everybody is like this, right? Trying to cover their head. So you want to treat this body with respect. So go with the legs first. In case there is an accident, it is not going to affect the head, although the person is dead. But the next hadith will tell us clearly that. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما عن النبي قال إذا وضعتم موتاكم في القبور فقولوا بسم الله وعلى ملة رسول الله. Now this is also one of the ethics of burying our loved ones. إذا وضعتم موتاكم في القبور. The Prophet ﷺ said, when you place your dead ones in the grave, فقولوا, say. Meaning the Prophet ﷺ is encouraging us to say Bismillah, with the name of Allah, وعلى ملة رسول الله, and it is based on the path of the Prophet ﷺ. It's based on millah. Millah means the deen, the faith, the direction, the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. So it is sunnatically proven that when we do this, not only are we giving reward to ourselves, but also interceding for the person who is actually dead. So Bismillah, with the name of Allah, we burying our brother. Wa ala millati Rasulillah, and it is the following, and doing it based on the tradition and the teaching of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, Hadith 467. وعن عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال. This is the Hadith I'm talking about. كسر عظم الميت ككسره حيا. Now, this is with regards to how we treat the body. Are we going to treat the body as if we don't care? Or we care? Well, of course, this is completely different with the doctors. And sometimes they have to, autopsy, they have to open, and sometimes, it's tough. But also, even there, we must respect, this person or this body. So Aisha is saying that the Prophet ﷺ said, really causing injury to the person who is deceased or breaking any part of his body is as breaking his part of the body alive, as if he's alive. Therefore, when you treat the body as if you don't care, guess what? You are treating not a body according to Islam, but you are treating a person who is alive. So it should not be that, well, this person is dead, less, we don't care, but treat it as if it is alive. But breaking his bones is as breaking the bone of a living person. So here we have to really, really respect the body. Now, based on this, whenever we are, our masjid here, there are steps. We have to be careful whenever we move in the body in here, especially if it is a female. In some part of the Islamic world, and it is reported in Bayhaqi, that whenever we bury women, there is a cover. There is something that would cover. We don't see what is going on, but the immediate family know, making sure that everything is good before it is uncovered. This is in Bayhaqi. Why? Because of the sanctity of women. And things would happen. Because this person cannot, because they're dead, cannot control themselves. We have to do it. And guess what? When people see things, they would mention it. You don't want people to go out there begin to mention things that are really, really not good. So whenever we are washing the body, let's do whatever we can to wash it as if that body is alive. But if we abuse the body, well, remember, as if we are abusing the body of a live person who is alive.
How about the people beneath? You write in the back of your license, you are the donors. So when the person died, they take his liver or his kidney or whatever that, doesn't go with this one.
Well, it goes with it. Sister Huda, it goes with it, but you may be right. This is what scholars have mentioned, our contemporary scholars, because anything regarding donating and all that does not exist during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, what about us today? Every part, and I know Dr. Tipu would mention, every part of human body is needed. Every part. And therefore, scholars have disagreement on what is valid to be donated. Now, based on this hadith, and they keep quoting this hadith, but there is also another tradition that says, or which is the ayah, that when you give a life to one person as if you've given life to the entire humanity. Can I or can he as a Muslim donate their heart, their liver, their kidney to somebody who needs it? This one is dead. However, they need this part to help somebody live. Your own Dr. Yusuf al-Qardawi, no, Sister Huda is a great scholar, had said, and I respect that opinion, that any part, and Dr. Ramadan also confirmed about this, any part of the body that will not change the shape of the body could be donated. But not the family that dictate it is he. It's just like driver's license. Well, kidney, liver, and this could be donated. But to donate the entire body, or to donate a leg, or to donate both hands, agreed upon that will change. Then what are we going to bury? Nothing. If we should take those 2 legs, 2 hands, but inside could be donated so that it could give life to somebody. Kidneys, liver, or whatever inside. It should not affect. But this is a point of disagreement among Muslim scholars about organ donation. They all agree that you cannot donate your entire body for scientific research. They all agreed. However, let's say Dr. Tipu is the president of our small community here, and he is, and something happened, and a lot of us are dying. Scholars have agreed on this. A lot of us are dying. Dr. Tipu could come and say, you know what? We need to keep about 3 or 4 bodies. We want to know what is killing us. Okay? If the leadership endorse on that we need to keep 3 bodies to research and know what is killing people, yes, Islamically correct. Because his work is to serve and protect the lives of those living. These ones have been dead. Therefore, let's use their body in order to know what is actually killing our people. Scholars have mentioned that. So pertaining to organ donation, and we do advise, look, when you need a blood, you don't go to hospital and ask them whether that blood belongs to a Muslim or not. We don't do that. We don't go to hospital. Yes, I need a blood, but wait a minute. Imam, I'm not sure whether that blood is for Muslim or not. I'm not taking it. No, that is wrong. We're going to take the blood of whoever it is a blood. Likewise, when you see, when those issues did not affect you or your family, you don't understand. But if they affect you, then you would understand what actually, it's not a rigid, our faith is not a rigid one, this and done. But those intestines, if it could give somebody life, some scholars have said yes. Yes, Sisoda.
I was talking about the blood transfusion.
Yeah.
When I was in the hospital and had surgery, and they came and asked me, is your religion allow you to have a blood transfusion? Because your blood count is very low. I said, that's nothing to do with the religion. If I need it, I need it.
Yeah. Well, of course, Islam is saying protecting one's life. Definitely. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Do not take your own lives. If you don't sit down and say, you know what, I don't need the blood. If Allah say I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave. That is nonsensical. You don't say, well, I'm not, the doctor said don't take too much sugar, don't take too much salt. I don't care, I'm taking it whether I'm going to leave or not, Allah knows. No. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. And therefore, to look at those issues narrowly, that we don't care about the scientific discoveries, is a problem. Yes, for those who would like to put on their driver's licenses, this and this and this, but not the body. So Dr. Tipu, usually when people, write those about organ donation, sometimes are they using everything, or they would only use?
It's only, only what they allow.
Okay.
And that includes liver sometimes. That includes kidney.
Yeah.
That includes heart.
Yeah.
So it's only what the wishes of the deceased.
Yeah, because the scholars have mentioned that it should not be general. Yeah. Because sometimes some people have no trust. They could use, because since you've signed, they could use everything.
And those are the kind of, those deaths is where I end up in the middle of the night at the hospital, because you may have wished that your liver or your kidney may be used, but it may not be suitable.
Oh.
So what we end up is those are taken out. We look at them under the microscope, and then the judgment is made whether they are suitable for transplant to another matched individual.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question though.
Okay.
I personally don't see any contradiction in donating after death an organ to save somebody's life, which is precious. And this hadith,
yes,
I think literally it says, breaking a bone is breaking a,
yes,
life person. But the intent here is to be respectful.
Absolutely.
And I don't see any disconnect or
no, I agree.
Contradiction between
here and there,
and giving and saving a life. But coming to the other statement that you made about you cannot donate your whole body to science, so that you can in turn train doctors who can in turn save lives.
Yes.
It's okay for a non-Muslim to do that, but Muslims are somehow chosen and they cannot do something like that?
Okay, good. I think I did mention that. I said, for example, Dr. Tipu is our president.
No, that's it.
Dr. Tipu is our president, and he, based on his judgment, okay, based on his judgment, said, you know what? We need to keep body 1, 2, 3 for scientific discovery in order to understand what is actually killing our people. Some scholars have mentioned, our contemporary scholars have mentioned that it's okay.
Right.
The problem is, again, abuse.
Right.
Don't just keep any body, because the body ought to be buried. A Muslim's body ought to be buried. And if you donate generally, and then the hands are gone, the legs are gone, the body is still sitting there, although Allah doesn't need that body in order to judge that person. But it is our tradition that a body may be buried. And we are not the only people. The Jewish people also the same thing. They do not go through all kinds. But yes, we donate, but it must be narrowed and specific. That is what our Islamic scholars, but being our leader, you can decide that let's keep this body for scientific research to know what is actually killing our people.
I'm far from qualified to render that judgment. But now coming back to that, I mean, again, I don't want to belabor this point, but anybody sitting in this room, here, in this masjid, who has undergone a knife, is because, and they were safely carried through that process, is because they were trained on a dead person to learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
How to do it right.
Absolutely.
And
that's where I give you the responsibility.
Let me just add that. It's not like people who are dissected upon are somehow abused there.
Yes.
They are treated very respectfully. They are not exposed unnecessarily. They are covered up after the dissection is done. And after the whole process is done, after the whole body is dissected, they are disposed or taken care of according to their wishes. If they wish to be cremated, they're cremated. If they wish to be buried, they're buried. And they're not totally dismembered. I think that's a misperception. They are cut, and just like as a person would be operated upon, and then they are disposed based on their wishes. So I think there's some misperceptions in the general public's mind as to how those bodies are treated.
Yes.
They're treated very
I think definitely we need to have a time where we would discuss, issues like that. Inshallah. Because of time, yes, let me listen to
I just had an observation to make. I mean, I was trained in a medical school in Pakistan, and most of the dead bodies there were mainly people who were found by the police on the, who passed away and they had no relatives.
True.
So I had always a question in my mind. I mean, did these people really choose to be here on my dissection table?
That's true.
And we knew nothing about them. We didn't know whether they were Muslims, non-Muslims, what their names were, what their final wishes were. The poor guys were probably so poor and homeless, maybe, that we did not know what and in which circumstance they were retrieved and how they passed away. So while I did my dissection on all those bodies, and let me tell you the rotation. It used to be head and neck, one team, the same body, somebody is dissecting the right arm, the same body, somebody is dissecting the left arm. And so torso and each leg, different teams of medical students. And I believe that these people whose bodies were before us and we did not know who they were, so this was sadqa jariyah for them, in the sense that whatever they allowed us to do to their bodies has resulted in, as Dr. Tipu said, in a surgeon doing a surgery well, and somebody who's learning to recognize anatomic structures like me. And it is sawab, actually, to allow the future human beings to be treated successfully. I don't think there should be an impediment to it.
No,
in the Muslim thought process.
I believe what you've said is 100% right. Now, when it happens, bodies in which you did mention, bodies that most of the time were retrieved from streets and they don't know them. Yes, definitely. The only way we have all these doctors from the Islamic world, what happened? How do they learn? It's through those bodies. Definitely. There is nothing wrong with that. Now, the issue is, can I write, it started with Sister mentioning, can I be organ donor? Where I'm not, this is the land of law. And we said yes. However, those inside, some scholars have said yes, Yusuf al-Qardawi, Ramadan al-Bouti, they said yes, inside, kidney, liver, heart, yes, but not something that will change the entire body. That I'm giving my, legs and my hands, that, some scholars have said no. Because of time, I think 5 minutes late, inshallah, we will continue this discussion next week. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu